the niyamas of yoga, and tapas represents mainly the element of fire. Actually translates into meaning to burn. So I'm just going to read a little bit more in depth about it from this book, Light on Yoga, from E.S. Iyengar. He says, tapas is derived from the root tap, meaning to blaze, burn, shine, suffer pain, or consume by heat. It therefore means a burning effort under all circumstances to achieve a definite goal in life. It involves purification, self-discipline, and austerity. The whole science of character building may be regarded as a practice of tapas. Tapas is the conscious effort to achieve ultimate union with the divine and burn up all desires which stand in the way of this goal. Tapas may relate to the body, to speech, or to mind. Developing a mental attitude whereby one remains tranquil and balanced in joy and sorrow and retains self-control are tapas of the mind. So one of the things I like to think of when I go with this is activating third chakra, Manipura, which is the fire chakra. So that means we're going to work on a lot of ab exercises. As I mentioned earlier, don't be fooled by the bolsters because they will be used for exercise later. So first we're going to start by just finding a comfortable seat. You can sit any way you like. If you want to sit up on your bolster, that's fine. Find a nice, tall, lengthened spine. And feel rooted in the seat. Rooted in the sit bones, grounding down to the earth, almost like you're plugging yourself into the earth. We'll start first with our body scan. So check in today and observe how your physical body is doing. Now observe the mind. What is the mind doing? Finally, observe the breath and notice how it flows in and out. Now we'll softly open the eyes and start with our first practice, which is a breath of fire. So we're going to place our hands on the tops of our shoulders. We're going to melt the elbows down towards the body, the shoulders down away from the ears. And first we're going to start slow. We're going to inhale and exhale only through the nose. On an inhale, turn to the right. On an exhale, turn to the left. So if you're swiveling back and forth, inhale right, exhale left. And then you can start to move a little faster. Almost let the breath be kind of forced in and out through the nose, moving faster and faster. If you get dizzy, just keep your gaze forward as you keep turning the elbows back and forth. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take a little break and relax the hands down for a moment, closing the eyes. Just observe for a second what you're feeling. Maybe the blood rushing to the head. Now we'll start again. This time we're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. So hands on the shoulders. We'll start slow first. Inhale left, exhale right. As you get used to that, you can start to move faster and faster into your breath of fire. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow down to a stop. Relax So one more time, maybe even closing the eyes, observing how the body and breath may have changed. Maybe the feeling in the body has changed. And then we'll open the eyes. We're going to make our way up to standing right away. For our first standing pose, we'll grab our blocks. We'll stand at the front of the mat with our feet just barely wider than hips width distance apart. We'll place one block on the highest setting on the outer edge of the right foot, preferably your cork block first, and then you can place the foam block right on top, also at the highest setting. The only reason why I like using the cork on the bottom is because sometimes the foam ones can get a little wiggly and they don't really support all of your weight. Yeah. Okay. We're making sure our outer edges of our feet are parallel first. And now we're just going to place our right hand down onto the blocks. And reach the left arm up and overhead. Might even be able to bump the hips to the left. For now, we'll just activate the left fingertips, really reaching the left fingertips towards the right side of the room. That way the hand's not just doing nothing. And now maybe you can see if you can gaze up a little more, opening the heart a little more. Try to breathe into your side bodies. And keep the feet rooted, grounded to the earth. Try to keep both legs straight if possible. And now we're going to bend the left arm, placing the arm behind the back. Back of the hand touches the lower back. Yeah. Now you can let the right ear drop down to the right shoulder. Maybe gaze up a little more. And get a little bit of a neck stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gently rise back up to stand. And we'll switch sides. So now we'll place the blocks next to the left foot. Stand up straight first to start. And then we'll place our left hand down onto the blocks as we reach the right arm up and over. Really activate the right fingertips so the right hand's not just doing nothing. Maybe you can gaze up towards the ceiling. I'm going to do some oblique exercises, so if you're sore tomorrow, maybe try this at home. If you don't have enough blocks at home, you can always just place your left hand on the hip and then do a little side body stretch, but this should feel especially good if you're sore. Now we'll bend the right arm, placing the back of the hand to the lower back. And then we'll drop that left ear to touch the left shoulder, or maybe it's close to touch. Open the heart a little more. And next inhale, gently rise back up. Now we'll just fold forward and neutralize the spine a little bit. Letting the arms dangle or clasping opposite arms. Bend the legs down if you wish. Fingertips to the floor or shins. Inhale, half lift, reach the crown and head forward. Exhale, fold one more time. Next inhalation, we're going to stand right back up. Now we're going to prepare for wood chopper. So you can set your blocks to the side now. Use those again later. And now we're going to open our feet even wider than they were already. Maybe even to the outer edges of your mat. Now we'll interlace our fingers, bring the hands together. We're going to pretend that we're chopping wood. So on inhale, we reach the arms up. On an exhale, we swing our axe down between the legs. Inhale, momentum carries it back up. Maybe even exhale out the mouth. It's a good opportunity to let things go. So if something's bothering you, just exhale out the mouth. Let it escape the body. Keep going. stand back up, you can release the hands, closing the eyes, taking a moment to just let the breath come back to a natural pace, natural rhythm. Might be able to bring your feet a little closer now if that feels comfortable. Now if the eyes are closed, you can softly open them. Start with a couple rounds of sun salutations to continue to warm up your body. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, dive forward, releasing the head and neck. Inhale, half lift, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, lower halfway or all the way down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, opening the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stay here for a couple breaths. So you may notice that we do sun salutations in nearly every single class, and that's because they're known as a great way of warming up the body, warming up all parts of the body. So since we are still warming things up, maybe you can find movement in your downward facing dog. Highlight out the feet or shaking the head yes and no. Exhale here. Bend the legs, step, walk, or hop forward to meet the hands. Fingertips come to the floor or shins. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, releasing the head and neck. Ground down through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, stand Tadasana mountain pose. One more time. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, dive forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, lowering halfway or all the way down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Once again, this is a warm up, so if you need to warm up the legs, or maybe you can kind of warm up the neck, touching your head, yes, no. Do what serves you right here, right now. Inhale. Exhale. Step right foot forward, then left. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, head and neck release. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms sweep up. Exhale, stand Tadasana mountain pose. So before we start with this next one, does anybody have arthritis in the toes? No. I'm somewhat. Okay. So then just be careful this next one. So we're going to balance our tippy toes, but we're going to activate the core to find balance. So if it hurts, just take a break and you can sit it out and wait for us to be done. If you're going to try it with me, we're going to bring our feet together until the mounds of the big toes touch. But we want about 2 fingers worth of space between the heels. Perfect. Now we're going to come into kind of like a chair pose, but instead of just having our seat go down and keeping our feet fully on the ground, we're actually going to bring our seat down as we come onto the tippy toes, maybe the balls of the feet. Lifting the heels up off the ground. Arms are reaching up, seat still going down, even though you're coming onto the tippy toes. Now pull the belly button in and up. Woo. Inhale. Exhale. Woo. Inhale. Exhale. Stand back up, pressing the feet down. A little bit of an exercise there. Toe strengthener. We're going to do that one more time. Here we go. Inhale, arms go up, seat goes down, coming onto the tippy toes and balls of the feet. Maybe you come up even higher to the tippy toes. Woo. Inhale. Exhale, find a gaze point that's not moving. Inhale. Exhale, one more. Inhale. This time, stay on the balls of the feet. Exhale, stand up straight. And relax.
Very kind of easier keeping my head straight.
Yeah, it is easier that way. It's trying to be a challenge.
Oh.
But you're right, it is a lot easier when you're like this. When you're like this, you're trying to get the weight balance kind of from your seat to the front. It's pretty fun. Alright, now we're going to come down into downward facing dog, planting the hands and stepping the feet back, lifting hips up and back. That's just a little fun one. We're going to do another similar kind of pose. Bend the legs and walk the feet forward, just about halfway. Then once again, bring the balls of the feet towards, or the mounds of the big toes together, excuse me. Balls of the feet on the floor. Now, we're going to bend the legs. We're going to come down to a squatting position, letting the knees go out towards the sides, staying only on the balls of the feet. Now, maybe you can just keep your fingertips on the floor here. Maybe this is enough. If you want to take it further, you can take your hands off of the floor, bringing them into prayer. If you want to take it even further, you bring the knees together, trying to find balance on just the tippy toes. Find your version. Inhale. Ooh, exhale. Inhale, activate the core, find that balance. Exhale. Ooh. One more, inhale. Ah. Exhale, plant the hands, get straight in the legs, finding a forward fold, maybe even heel-toeing the feet a little wider. Let the head and neck hang, maybe bend one leg and the other. Good job. Now we'll plant the hands and step back to plank pose. We're just going to hold plank for a few breaths. And getting the abs warmed up here. So try to plant the hands directly underneath the shoulders and spread the fingers wide. Lift the hips up a little higher. And now once again, pull the belly button in and up. You might even start to feel like you're quivering. That's a good thing. You're building muscle. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the breath steady. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower the right forearm, then the left forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the left hand, then the right, and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more in. And out. And bend the legs, step, walk, or hop forward, meeting the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, reach your crown of head forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, head and neck release. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms sweep up. Exhale, stand, Tadasana mountain pose. Awesome job. Now we're going to make our way down to our thumbs and we're going to use our foam block. Coming into that boat pose that we did on Sunday. Hope you're ready. Alright. So we'll only need the foam block for now. We're going to find our way onto our seats and allow legs to be bent, feet on the floor for now. Now before we start using the block, we're going to do one round without the block. We'll place the hands behind the thighs and really lengthen the spine long. So feel like we're nice and tall. Maybe you can bring the backs of the shoulder blades together so your heart sticks forward. Now, see if you can find that balancing point at the tailbone where you can lift the feet up, allowing the shins to be parallel to the floor, but try to keep finding that length. So if you started to round your spine, try to stick your chest out so you lengthen the spine. Maybe you just hold this here, or maybe now you can extend the arms along the sides, releasing the thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come down, taking a little break, preparing for the next version. So during these next few rounds, if you have to take a break, you can always just kind of hug the legs and let your forehead go down towards the knees. Kind of gives you a nice little break, a little breather. But not for long, so here we go. So grab your block, and this time we're going to place it in between the thighs. And you want the small rectangle to be facing you. Make sure it's between the thighs and not between the knees though. Once again, we'll find that length in the spine. And then we'll find our little balancing point. Try to bring the shins and calves parallel to the floor, so lifting up a little higher. Squeeze the block with the thighs. Stick the heart out even more. Okay, now on an inhale, we're going to straighten the legs, flexing the feet, squeezing the block. Exhale, bend the neck in. Inhale, extend. And exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Try to move nice and slow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Taking a break. Taking a breather. Continue to take your little break while I show you what we're going to do for this next round. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing that we just did with the block between the thighs, but instead of just extending the legs like this, now we're going to extend the legs and lower the back down towards the ground and let our abs bring us right back up. Let's go a little deeper this time. If it's too much, just go with that previous version. Here we go. Block between the thighs. Once again, you want that small rectangle facing you. Find your boat pose, that balancing point. Make sure the spine's lengthened, heart lifted. Here we go. Inhale, extend, maybe lowering the back down towards the floor. And exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. And exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Woo. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, and release. Taking a break. Woo. Rest of the class, you find that you're starting to build up that heat and that fire. The best way to let it exit the body is just exhale, sighing out the mouth. Alright, here we go. Ready for our next pose. So now we're going to lie on our backs. We're going to place the block in between the feet. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling. The block between the feet should be the longest rectangle facing you now. Arms are along the sides, palms face down for now. We're just going to do one round to start. We're going to lower the legs nice and slow as you can, until you barely tap the floor. Slow, 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 tap. And inhale, bring the feet back up. And exhale, bend and then take a break for a minute. So the reason why we only did one round of that is because I wanted you to notice what you were doing with your lower back. You might have felt like you were kind of pulling at the lower back, or maybe it felt really curved. We're going to try and keep our lower back flush against the ground. So let's just keep our legs bent for a moment. Feet on the floor. We're just going to do a couple of pelvic tilts. So tilt the pelvis, almost like you're squeezing the glutes together as well, allowing the lower back to be flush against the ground. Then release, allowing the natural curve of the spine to return. Keep doing this on your own a couple of times, just kind of tilting the pelvis, and releasing it. Notice what muscles you're using in order to get the pelvis to tilt. Maybe it's the glutes, maybe it's the thighs. Maybe you're feeling something else. And release. We're going to start that one more time with the block between the feet. This time we're going to hopefully have our lower back flush against the ground the entire time. Alright, legs are lifting up. Inhale here. And on exhale, we're just going to lower the feet down until they're about 6 inches or so away from the ground. Inhale, gently rise back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Keeping the back against the ground. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower, pull the leg up in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower the heels to tap the ground now. And inhale, rise it back up. Exhale, bend the legs, taking a break. Either hug the knees in, or you can leave the feet on the ground. Heel toeing the feet to the outer edges of the mat, and knock the knees in to touch. Okay. Now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to place the walk between the feet again, lifting the legs up. Arms are still along the sides. But now what we're going to do is we're going to lower the legs down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise them back up. And exhale, do a little kick to lift the hips off the ground. And pause here. Exhale, lower the feet down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, do a kick. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, kick. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, kick. Inhale here. One more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, kick. Inhale, release. Taking a break. Now you can set your block to the side. Just hug the knees in if they're not already. Swing side to side, release any tension in the lower back. Alright, now we're going to place our hands behind the thighs and do a couple of spinal rocks, massaging the spine until you're ready to come up to your seated position. When you've had enough with your rocks, you'll all be seated. Great. Alright, take it a little further. Go. We're going to roll over onto our hands and knees and find our way into plank to prepare for side plank. Now, if you're getting a little winded and you don't think you can do a full side plank, just keep your knees on the ground as you sway side to side. Otherwise, if you want the full pose, we're going to all come into full plank, lifting the knees off the ground. We'll stay here in plank for a couple breaths, activating the core, and warm up as if it wasn't already. And now we're going to sway the weight into the right side and lift left arm up, side plank. Okay, you can always lower the knees down if that's easier. Or you can even stagger the top foot in front and the bottom one to kind of give yourself a little kickstand for balance. Inhale. Exhale, yeah. Inhale, lift the hips away from the ground. Exhale. One more in. And exhale, plank. Inhale here. Exhale to the left. Swaying the weight into the left hand. Right arm reaches up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift it a little higher. Exhale, plank. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes, send the sit bones back towards the heels, forward and rests. Take a mini break. You're not done yet. So really enjoy this break to the fullest you possibly can. You still have that heat built up. Maybe you can start exhaling out the mouth, letting it out a little bit. And on our next inhalation, we'll gently rise back up. Now this next pose we're going to do is with the bolster. It's called crow pose. Funny thing, I just heard crows squawking a minute ago. So if you can't do this pose, that's okay. Just try your best. And if you have to take a break, just come pose, taking a little breather. Otherwise, for joining me, we're placing the bolster at the top of the mat horizontally, and it's cutting your mat in half. And now we're going to place the hands directly underneath the shoulders and kind of slide your fingertips underneath the bolster just slightly. Now, we're going to come into downward facing dog for a minute, lifting hips up and back. And then keeping the legs deeply bent, we're going to start to walk the feet in about halfway. And like we did earlier, feet are about hips width distance apart. We're going to let the seat go down, bending the legs like a little squat. Now, what we want to do is, our goal is to bring the knee and the shin to the top of the upper arms, right above the elbow. So we're going to bend the arms and try to bring your knee or even just the shin on the top of the arm and press the forehead down onto your bolster. It's okay if it rests completely there. Now try to press into the hands a little more, and maybe you can even lift the toes off the ground, bring the feet to touch. Now activate the core, finding your balance. If you want to take it further, now you can softly lift your gaze, lifting your head away from the bolster, gazing down at the bolster instead of facing up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, release. You lower the feet down, bring the knees together. And once again, find yourself into a child's pose. Taking a little break. Over time, you might not even need your bolster for that pose, but sometimes it's nice, because then you know you're not going to just crash your head down onto the floor. At least you have a little cushion to help. If your arms are getting a little tired too, you can even allow the arms to go along the sides, palms facing upward. Good job. Alright, for our final workout pose, or intense pose, it's going to be headstand. If you want to join, that's fine. If you're not feeling like it, you just stay where you are in your child's pose. If you want to join me though, we will grab a hold of our opposite upper arms with our hands. This allows us to make sure we're measuring shoulders with distance apart for our forearms and elbows. So once you have that, you place the elbows down to the floor. Then interlace the fingers. You'll notice that one pinky might be kind of crushing down onto the floor. So tuck that pinky underneath so it's only the outer edges of the hands that are against the floor. And the forearms, elbows, outside of the hands, they all press into the earth. That way you feel the shoulders come down away from the ears, you press the elbows down. Now we'll place our head down, soft spot, the crown of the head down, in between the hands. It's almost like the hands are like a little loop arm or a cup. Now we'll tuck the toes to lift the hips up and back like downward facing dog. Keep pressing the forearms and elbows into the ground. And maybe you can walk the feet a little closer to you so you can watch your tippy toes. And then maybe you can come on to just the head by lifting the knees up and lifting one leg and the other. Pressing the elbow and the forearms into the ground, get the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. In. Exhale, lower, coming back into your child's pose, and even resting the arms along the sides. Allow that head brush to go down a little bit. Now you can even let your breath slow down. Comes the final active active pose. We'll now come into our cool down poses. So now notice how quickly the breath may be moving. And see if you can slow it down slightly. Not dramatically or drastically, just slightly. Still in child's pose. Allow the head and neck to fully relax, resting the weight of the head into the earth. And now we'll take 3 rounds of breath, inhaling through the nose and exhale, sighing out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In child's pose, gently press yourself up to a seated position. Now, we're actually going to make our way back onto our backs. So lie back. Resting the head down to the floor. Extending the legs long. We're going to kind of make a letter C shape with our bodies. Kind of stretch out the sides once again. So first we'll start by walking the heels over towards the bottom right corner of the mat. And cross the left ankle over the right. Now reach the arms up overhead and start to shimmy the shoulders over to the top right corner of the mat. And grab a hold of your left wrist with your right index finger and thumb. Let the eyes softly close now. And for more of a stretch, begin to have a slight tug or a slight pull on your left wrist to stretch out the left side bodies. If your shoulders are bothering you today in this position, you can just simply release the wrist and just keep your arms bent, kind of like cactus arms. Find what works for you today. Allow yourself to be comfortable in this position once you've found something that works. Now imagine that you're massaging your left side body, your left ribs, with your breath. Inhale, nourishing that space. Maybe even stretching it out. And exhale, release. Let it soften. Inhale, stretch out the side body with breath. And exhale, soften. Take one final round of breath here. And then slowly release. release, coming back into your straight line. So bringing the shoulders back to center, the heels back to center. And we'll switch sides. This time we'll walk the heels over to the bottom left corner. And cross the right leg over the left, or the right ankle over the left. Arms reach up overhead. And now try to bring your shoulders over to the top left corner of the mat. And hook your left index finger and thumb around the right wrist. Maybe giving a slight tug, stretch out the side bodies. But again, if your shoulder, maybe rotator cuff is bothering you, keep your elbows bent, releasing the hands altogether. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Gently return back to your straight line, releasing the hands, bring the shoulders back to center, and then the heels back to center. Pause in Shavasana for a brief moment, and allowing a little mini reset. And then we're going to roll onto our bellies. Just roll on one side and then onto your belly. We're just going to do a cobra pose to stretch out the abdomen. So to do this, we'll place our hands directly underneath the shoulders. We'll just leave the toes untucked for now and press into the hands to lift the heart as much as you feel comfortable. Maybe you can straighten the arms. But really try to direct your breath to the belly. Inhale, you're expanding your belly with inhale. And exhale, allowing it to deflate. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more in. And exhale, lower. Arms come along the sides, palms face up. You can rest a cheek down or the forehead down. Just allow the hips to sway side to side, like you're shaking your tail or wagging your tail back and forth. And then slow down to a stop. And we'll roll onto our backs once again. Easy peasy. Now we'll extend the legs long, heels touching the outer edges of the mat. Arms are along the sides, palms facing upward. Walk the shoulder blades down the back, down away from the ears, creating length in the neck, and maybe even a shelf for the heart. Allow the muscles of the face to fully relax. Wash away any expression that may be left over. Allow the mouth to relax, maybe first by swaying the jaws side to side, or stretching the mouth open, making bows and heads. And allow the mouth to fully relax. It might even be slightly open. Now allow the muscles of the cheeks to relax. Cheekbones melt down away from the eyes. Forehead relaxes. Eyebrows relax. Even the eyes behind the eyelids fully relax. Today's Shavasana assist, I'm going to have an essential oil blend on my hands. This includes clove, cinnamon, wild orange, and some fractionated coconut oil. If you do not want this today, please raise your hand and I'll skip you. Allow the breath to slow down even more. Maybe even now, you can find an equal count breath. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Over time, you might be able to increase this count to 4 or 5. Take a brief moment to think of a goal that you have, big or small. See this goal of yours clearly in your mind. How are you going to find the self-discipline needed in order to accomplish this goal? Maybe it's simply finding the first step. What is the first step you are going to take in order to reach this goal? In order to make this dream a reality? Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Bring small movements back to the fingers and the toes. In your own time, gently roll off to one side, coming into a fetal position. In your own time, gently press yourself back up to a seated position. Close with one hold. If you want to join, inhale. I'll ignite the fire that's within me. Strive for what's important to me. Light within me sees and vows to the light within you.